Hi there, I'm Cher, and this is Diary of a Pen Nerd. My poor candle is holding on for dear life. We'll see if she makes it. Okay, she's in a cute little teacup. I don't know if you can tell. Anyways, we're about a month into the semester, which is pretty exciting, and classes have been going really good, and I've been taking a lot of notes, which means my pens need to be refilled. And I'm actually really enjoying a lot of these, and I'm not ready to switch them out yet, so we are just mostly going to be refilling and not like completely putting new inks in. But we've got a few here. I've been using pretty much all of these for note taking, although in different amounts. And also all in my bullet journal, again in different amounts. So let's start with this one. This one had Arizona Sky Crimson. I really like this one for note taking. I distinguish between my classes because I have a couple of classes that I take notes for in the same notebook, and I don't separate them by sections. I just take notes on the next page, which is working fine. But I distinguish between subjects by the color of my notes. So I've been doing one class in this red color. Oh, it's gonna be hard to do this because the ink is so low. This is one of my all-time favorite inks. I don't know if I'll repurchase this one when it's done, or if I want to try and find a different ink in the same color family. I have tried Private Reserve Black Cherry in a sample, and I loved it. It's just like I really like the Private Reserve inks for how saturated and wet they are, or the few that I've tried. My problem is the bottles. First of all, they're huge, and the mouths of the bottles are huge. So this is really difficult, actually. And I don't know that I want that much ink in my collection, but I actually might get a full bottle of Private Reserve Black Cherry once I finish this. To fill that, dark red need. All right. So I take some notes in red for one of my history classes, and then I take my notes for my other history class in the same notebook, but in blue, and it looks good, I think, personally. I will take notes in whatever color I want, regardless of if it's, a very professional or academic color, because they're for me and no one else is gonna see them or care. So I do kind of just do what I want, which is nice. It's nice that I get to have that flexibility. This is Organic Studios Aldous Huxley. I put this one in this pen right after I had Organic Studios Santiago Sea Blue in this pen, and I think between the two of them I prefer Santiago Sea Blue. I think it's just a little bit darker and shows off a little bit more sheening, which is what I really like. And I've gotten a few recommendations for other inks that are gonna fall into the same like teal or blue with red sheen category, because I'm admittedly in love with this ink color. Oh, I'm gonna slurp up most of the last of that sample and not even fill my converter. That's okay. I need to get a bottle of N ink in this color. It doesn't have to be this one or necessarily Santiago Sea Blue, just N ink in this color, because I am such a big fan. So there's that, looking good. And then there's gonna be no ink left in there, or just enough to maybe make one last little swatch for my records. What next? This one has Amamoyoi in it. This is a Fude nib. I like to write with the Fude nib. Oh, and she's like empty. Oh, completely flat. And then use it for like headers, especially in my bullet journal when I'm making my weekly setups. And Amamoyoi is another one of my, is this gonna come out? There it goes. One of my all-time favorite inks, and I probably will just repurchase it whenever it's done. Which, as you can see, it's gonna be soon. Or I don't know if you can see actually, but there is not very much left in here. And this one I tend to go through really fast, whatever ink I put in this pen, just because the Fude lays down a lot of ink. And I like that because then it shows off a lot of the shading, and this is a chromo shading ink. I want to get more chromo shading inks, and Sailor has a lot of really pretty ones, but I also want to see if I can branch out to other brands. Well, this is the only Sailor ink that I have a bottle of. But, and I also really like that they're 20 milliliters, because it's small enough that it feels like a more usable amount than like a 50 milliliter, oh my gosh, or 60 milliliter bottle. 20 milliliters is very usable. And I like to keep my ink collection small, on the smaller side. This one has Brilliant Beanstalk in it, and I've been using this one for headers a lot in when I use it for my notes. So it's fun, and I like that it's a shimmer ink, so I can add a pop of shimmer to my school notes. Again, because I have that freedom, so I get to have fun. School has been going pretty good. I've definitely been very busy, but like a good busy and also a manageable busy. my classes are going good for the most part, although we are only a month in, so it could definitely all go downhill. I have a couple of classes that I'm a little bit more worried about, but the other thing about class is that you really can't tell how the class is going to go until after the first test, I find. Because you can think you've got the assignments down and everything, and then you take the first test and you can realize that you're totally unprepared and have no idea what you're doing. And so in some of my classes that we haven't had the first test yet, I'm a little bit more nervous. The classes that we have had our first test in, I feel pretty good about. Or the first essay. And the other thing about that is, how does your professor grade? And what are they looking for? And you can't really know that until after the first test. So here's some of my pens. I think I just refilled this one actually, because this is my Ferris wheel brush pen. I do tend to go through the converter fill in this pen pretty quickly, and so I refill it pretty frequently. Yeah, it's full. But this one's got one more sleep in it, and I've been really enjoying this one. I've been doing a lot of notes with this one. And then this one has a cartridge, so I'm not entirely sure how much ink is left in this one. Oh, about right there. That's not bad. I do get a little bit paranoid that I'm going to run out of ink. It has happened, not frequently, but it has. Especially when it's a cartridge. And especially when I can't see it, like all of these I can't see. These pens that are translucent, which I really like, and I can see the ink levels, I feel pretty set with. So there we go. Now I think this one's, yeah, this one's okay. There's all of my pens re-inked, and a little bit about how I've been using and enjoying them, and how my semester has been going. Been having a lot of fun. My candle has survived, barely. I didn't realize that the first time you burn a candle, you have to burn the whole top. And so now I'm worried that my candle is going to tunnel, and I'm not sure what to do about it. I've seen people where they put like tinfoil around the candle to like get it to burn the whole thing so that it doesn't tunnel anymore. And I might try that, but I don't know. But I don't want my candle to tunnel. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope whatever you are doing with your pens and inks and in your life in general is going good and you're enjoying it. And that is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in to another transmission. If you liked it and you want to stick around, you can hit the subscribe button, and I'll have the next chapter of my story out soon. Bye for now. Love, share.